special CBS 5 presentation, a town hall meeting called Target Bayview, a search for solutions.
Now, if you talk to some of the young people who are living in, some of the people who have died in this neighborhood, they'll tell you it's hard to understand what's going on here. Some people feel the solution has to come from within. Now, one local filmmaker has tried to put the world here on the screen. Sydney Kohara spent some time with Kevin Epps.
This is where we grew up at.
That's why Kevin Epps has never left Bayview Hunters Point. He first documented the sometimes violent life there in his 2002 film, Straight Out of Hunters Point.
Somebody call the ambulance! All this and stuff is bullet holes. But right here, you got this, so you know what I'm saying? You just try to provide a space where the youngsters, man, can have a chance.
His own story is pretty remarkable. Not many gave this kid nicknamed Peanut a chance.
Yeah, my rap sheet is longer than my resume. Way longer than my resume.
But becoming a filmmaker changed his life. And now he's trying to help change the lives of others, or at least tell their stories. His latest film is Rap Dreams, about 3 aspiring rappers.
Their music is like our CNN, it's like our NBC News, and they're using rap music and that culture as a way to hopefully help them make it up out of poverty and up out of the ghettos.
Epps helps kids who take an interest in his work, steering them to different programs.
I mean, you try to just encourage them to do something else, man, and get off them streets. And because I tell them, man, the streets gonna be here, man. It was here before you came along. It's gonna be here long after you're gone.
And Epps has a child of his own now, who also lives in Bayview Hunters Point.
What do you tell her about her neighborhood when she hears those gunshots? Do you have a hopeful message for her?
I do. I tell her, I was like, it's a lot of things going on that you can't control. I just try to talk to her and show her something different. I take her outside the community, and engage her in other type of activities. But I also want her to be there, because I want to be there, because I know that in the end, the people that are from there are the ones that are ultimately going to determine how we deal with a lot of the issues that we're dealing with.
Nothing like a day at the beach, but when it's time to leave the sea and sand behind, visitors to Stinson Beach usually wind up taking some of it home with them. That's because most of the shower heads here at the beach bathrooms have been turned off. Not a problem when you have the beach to yourself like I do today, but when the sun comes out and the weekend crowds gather, hey, it could be a long wait to rinse off all that sand. Park Ranger Mia Monroe says it's a twofold problem. A limited water supply that's also the local water supply for Stinson Beach residents.
We use a little bit at this very popular beach, but we want to be responsible because every drop that comes out of that shower is a drop that could be used by the community or by the steelhead that are growing up in the creek nearby. Eastcoot Creek drains into Bolinas Lagoon that's home for steelhead trout, an endangered species. So every drop of water we save here is essentially going into the creek and in the lagoon for those precious animals too.
Conservation efforts now in place at the 20-year-old facility include low-flow toilets, waterless urinals, and springs on the one remaining faucet, so it shuts off immediately after using. According to Chronicle Watch, there's a long-term solution in the planning stages. A thoroughly modern beach bathroom that conserves even more precious water. So until then, patience. In Stinson Beach, Sydney Kohara, CBS 5 Eyewitness News.
I got a traffic ticket, a moving violation, but I think it was completely bogus.
You're going the wrong way!
Well, it was for going the wrong way, in fact, but it's not like you think.
He says we're going the wrong way! Oh, he's drunk! How would he know where we're going?
No. Let me explain. I was leaving the big Safeway store on Market Street in the Castro district one Tuesday morning and needed to make a left-hand turn to get to work. No signs say I can't, so I do. All of a sudden, I pulled over. License and registration, he says. What'd I do? I asked. You were going the wrong way down Market Street, he says. And that's that. I get a $175 ticket. I guess he thought by making that left-hand turn my car was going eastbound on the westbound street. But that's what's bogus. I'm going to fight this ticket. And here to help is Jim Thomas of the National Motorist Association, a group which says it is devoted to protecting the rights of drivers. They also help fight tickets.
The first thing you need to do is gather as much information as you can.
Ask for a delay in your hearing to make sure you do a good job. Also, he says there's a chance the police officer won't show up if the date keeps getting moved.
The citizen is typically at somewhat of a disadvantage in this situation because you might get this going to court once a year, once every 10 years. These guys on the other side do this every day.
But my time is here. I take my pictures. I make my measurements. I draw my diagrams. Department A, Hall of Justice, here I come. Gonna win. Cameras aren't allowed in, and I can't afford a real courtroom artist, so I've asked Roz, who usually does her best work at Pier 39 and at parties, to help. Into court I go. I waive my right to have the cop there, so my fate is in the hands of Traffic Commissioner Frank Drago. Tell me your story, he says. I do, with my diagrams and pictures. I don't think I was going the wrong way. He mulls over the evidence. That makes a lot of sense, he thinks. Not guilty, he rules. Woohoo, I say. I'm glad I don't have to pay, and so is traffic court attorney Sherry Gendelman, who specializes in getting people off.
The fines are taxes. They are really regressive taxes against the widest range of the population because they don't want to tax rich people and corporations.
And today, they aren't taxing me. Mike Sugarman, CBS 5 Eyewitness News.